So the big news that we're here to talk about on air, and so even though I've had this fellowship at Lightning AI for a year, we've been kind of holding on for a really special moment to have you on the podcast. And now the time has come because Lightning AI has merged with a firm called Voltage Park. And you guys have created something really big. It's mind-blowing to me. You've described it as the full stack AI neocloud for enterprises and frontier labs. It serves 400,000 developers and companies, $500 million plus in ARR, and that's been gained in under 2 years, which is astounding. $500 million in ARR in under 2 years. And now this company, after merger, Lightning AI plus Voltage Park, has 35,000 GPUs, making it the third largest neocloud in the world. I guess a nice place to start on this is congrats.
Well, it's been obviously these are numbers from bringing both companies together.
Yeah.
And I think it shows just how amazing each one of us were doing on our own. And when we looked at it, we said, if you brought together, I don't know, a Mac and Mac OS, you'd build the best laptop in the world. It was pretty obvious when that became clear.
Yeah, software plus hardware.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a really cool pairing. And you have actually been, so like Lightning AI was first a customer of Voltage Park, and then, it obviously matured into something much more. How did that kind of evolve?
So, if you're not familiar with Lightning, full stack software, kind of all the tools you need to build, train, inference models, like all that, I'm sure we'll get into at some point. So we have a lot of enterprise customers and developers and frontier labs who are, they're doing the inference with us. For example, ones like Cantina, which is Sean Parker's new startup, right? So we do a lot of their inference there. And a lot of these players were using like very single purpose tools to do that, for example, like other companies where that's all they do. And so these companies came to us at first maybe for like training and other things, and then eventually they kind of move into these other things that we offer because we offer all of it. And as we started to scale, we found the need to go beyond just AWS. As you all know, AWS is a very premium product, I will say, and so commands a high price. But it's lacking a lot of the specific AI tools that are needed, right? Because AWS is built for CPU applications actually, and so it's trying to be retrofitted back to AI. And so then you have enterprises and startups that will like try to make up the gap by buying these like specialized products that only do that one thing. And then they like stitch them together, and then that creates a lot of problems, right? Because it's security in the enterprise, it would be like firewalls and security between all these products. Startups and frontier labs, they don't see it this way, but it creates a lot of like operational overhead. And so anyway, so we started looking around for where can we get better compute for our customers? Because it was clear that they wanted the software, but the compute prices were really expensive. So we found this thing called neoclouds, which I didn't know what it was until a year ago. It's a brand new term, right? And neoclouds are basically a new type of cloud they're GPU first. So they have some CPUs now, but they were really designed around how do you make the best performing hardware on GPUs work really, really amazing for things like training models, right? Things like InfiniBand and vast storage and all these different things. Whereas the traditional clouds like AWS try to roll a lot of that stuff out on their own. And so it's not as high performance as a neocloud, because a neocloud works directly with NVIDIA to do a lot of this. So we find the slew of neoclouds. There's like hundreds of these things, by the way, right? I didn't know this. So we partner with like the top 7 or 8. We start working with them. And then we start putting customers on all of these. Enterprise customers, we're talking about people like Cisco, et cetera. And they need a special type of like stability that I was skeptical that I could find outside of AWS personally. I think startups, they're okay dealing with this more. So we put the first enterprise customers, and then they struggle, right? And we struggle to get them to adopt these neoclouds for the majority of them. And then there's just like this new player that we have never heard of, Voltage Park, and they kind of come out of the blue, and it's a interesting story how they got started. So they bring all these GPUs online, and then they, I think what was amazing, and probably every customer's reactions here have been how responsive they are, right? And so now, we're one company now, so I'm talking formerly Voltage Park. Mm-hmm. They call it the white glove experience, which I think it's a great product name. But, hey, we're going to do what it takes, give support as much as possible to like make you successful, which is what you need as an early stage startup, right? Ultimately. So they're doing this amazing job. And through that iteration process, we're able to actually win a few customers, enterprises, and increase retention. And so, I was like, hey, these guys are serious. They know what they're doing. And at the time, we were trying to figure out how to bring in a lot more GPUs online, because Lightning we've never sold compute. All our customers buy compute from somewhere else, and then they connect our software to that compute. It's called BYOC, Bring Your Own Cloud.